right, so you gotta tell me about the set and how everything went. Because apparently, I mean, like we were just talking off mic about how absolutely insane things were. So welcome back to Louisville. You can tell me about the set, how the reaction was.
Set was great. I would say best festival crowd in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we played Sonic Temple back in May, and that was great. We had like fucking 3,500 people or 4,000 people at like noon.
Yeah.
So I was interested to see how this goes because we played at like 12:40.
Yeah.
And that's a very early slot. Last time we played here, I think we played at like 4.
Yeah.
Loudest, like as far as the crowd was, just I've never had so many people in a festival setting know all the words.
Yeah.
That was like I took one of my ears out and I remember being like, yo, let me hear you, and they just fucking the whole crowd, and I was like, oh, okay, y'all all know this music, and I was like, all right, show of hands, who's heard of Mike Zed before? And they're like, all the hands went up, and I was like, oh,
okay,
all right, what the fuck is up?
Yeah, it's like, all right, Louisville, like let's do this thing.
Yeah, I mean, I love Louisville. Obviously, headlining here and playing here has been some of my favorite experiences.
It's like, I mean, like, so, you know, we're trying to set another thing up with you, you know, to have you do, you know, a cool headlining thing and everything. There's a lot of great venues in town, like, you know, we're talking about a few places, so, you know, I think it'll be rad to have you play, like, you know, one of those more intimate settings and everything to do that. So, like, what's the mindset, you know, when you're going into a festival and, like, you know, I mean, obviously, like, you know, kind of that mind-blowing thing, like today, where it's like, oh shit, like here's all these people, but like, you know, how do you approach that from a mental standpoint of like, okay, here's a festival setting, I don't know what the crowd's going to be like versus, you know, a more headlining kind of thing where, you know, people that are there aren't there for you, you know?
I think it's similar to like doing like a large-scale support. Like we've toured within this moment, we've toured with Ice Nine Kills.
Yeah.
We were just direct support for Avatar the other night, like 2 weeks ago in Columbus. In those crowds, a lot of the people do not know you. Like it's a fact, and so your job is to win them over. And I think from just doing and having those experiences, we go into it with that same mindset where it's like, cool, we got to be on our shit. The first song might not hit as hard, and then usually by the end of the set is usually you can tell if you've won that crowd over or not. So it's more of a challenge. It's honestly a little bit more fun. Festival-wise, it's very hit or miss though, because it's like we played Rockville back in May, same month, you know, a week or two away from Sonic Temple.
Yeah.
Maybe 500 people.
Yeah.
Maybe 1,000 by the end of the set, and it was just like your time slot, what stage you're on, it all varies. As you know, as far as how your crowd will be. But I love Louisville. I played here before. Played Louder 2 years ago, and that was one of my like more fun festival experiences. I think Kentucky and like this general region, there's a lot of fun Southerners and come to get down, and it's
hell yeah, man.
so it was cool. We got Aftershock in 2 weeks, and that's like I said, it's very different.
Yeah.
You go up to this fucking NorCal, and it's a totally different vibe.
So like, what would you say was the biggest thing that you noticed this year for Louder Than Life versus 2 years ago?
I think this year more people were here specifically to see the set, like specifically here to see us play, and I think that was the drastic difference. Whereas last year it was like we played at a later time slot. I remember Suicide Silence was like loading on the stage next to us, so there was a lot of people waiting there to see them. We definitely had more people because it was a 4 o'clock time slot, but that being said, it was almost kind of similar today, and then more people were just very excited to see the set, a lot of reaction, and to his point, he was like, yeah, everyone was stoked, dancing, having a good time. That's all that matters to me. I don't really, you know what I mean?
It's like you just want people to have a good time and enjoy themselves and, you know, be part of that experience and everything. So, you know, it's awesome that, you know, you're able to come back here, or we're hopefully going to have you back here and, you know, do a more intimate thing outside of the festival setting. But tell me about, you know, what's going on music-wise, like what's the, you know, what's the plan here moving forward?
We have been in fucking label purgatory. Yeah, I've been stuck in this shit for a couple months. We have 2 songs coming out that are both very big features, and that's why we've been stuck with label, because it's like getting the approval and building it around their timeline, and oh my god, it's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
So they're done. The next project is actually fully done, and it's just now getting finalized dates for some releases. We should have something out in October, and then again, hopefully something in early December. And both are collabs with very large scale bands. The biggest that I've ever worked with, at least. So that'll be really interesting and cool. And then we've got In This Moment touring with them in November, and a couple headlines.
I love it, man. Well, I'm happy that you're here in Louisville for Louder Than Life, and it's going to be great to have you back. But I appreciate you taking some time to chat, man.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me on it, man.
Always.